Okay, everybody, it is time to train. So, hello, it is so nice to meet you. I am Jessica Kane, and I am so excited to be here tonight. So, thank you so much for inviting me into your group to help you with something I'm super passionate about, and that is follow up, baby. Follow up. So, fortune is in the follow up, right? Like, come on, let's get that money. So, real quickly, who am I? Why am I here? And what's going on? So you're like, what is Geniechat? I've never heard of such a thing. So just real quickly, yes, it is new. Geniechat is a new app that I created for us. And so there'll be pieces tonight where you get to learn more about Geniechat, but that's not what tonight's about. Tonight, this training is about learning the foolproof follow-up framework that really helps you streamline your follow-up and never miss an opportunity that are going to be, bleeding through the cracks. So I want to know what you struggle with most. So in the comments, now if I don't see your comments because I'm on live, I promise you after the training, I will get on and answer. You have my profile, so you can click and DM me. I will answer. I love talking with people who are excited about this. So don't be afraid. You can hit me up. Okay. So follow up shouldn't feel like a chore. So I want to know, what are you struggling with most in your business when it comes to efficiency and organization? Is it follow up with, it's like knowing who to follow up with? Is it not knowing who you did follow up with? Is it tracking what you should have tracked, like notes about people, like keeping track of where people are in your little system? So let me know in the comments, because guess what? Tonight, you're going to actually fix all those things. So let's go. All right. So let me move my little face over here and show another face. All right. The foolproof follow-up framework. You are going to leave this training, which is only 30 minutes. We're going to keep it tight and on schedule. So I know you're busy. Time is precious. And in fact, that's literally why I created Geniechat, because time is our most precious asset. And yet we so often are just like wasting it, piddling it away, right? So not good. So we are going to make the most use of your time tonight, and we're going to get right into the things. So you are going to learn a few important things tonight. You're going to learn how to catch the clues and turn that into money. You're like, clues? Tell me more. And organize and segment your contacts. You know where to focus your energy. And then efficiently and effectively follow up. And my follow-up method literally takes 15 minutes a day. So show me in the comments if you're like, I need some of that. I want to see it in the comments, because if you need help, this is the right place to be. All right. All right. So a little about me. I am the designer and the creator, the builder of Geniechat. So everything you see came out of this crazy noggin, and from graphic design to the website, all the things. So I'm a total nerd. And I say I'm a total exennial entrepreneur. So I'm a social butterfly. I have built multiple, like 4+ social media based businesses, reaching hundreds of millions of people, honestly. And I am an organizational and efficiency freak. And if you aren't, which I actually live with a lot of people who aren't, I totally get you. I totally hear you. And in fact, my husband, who has ADHD, uses Geniechat to help himself just in his daily life. So you're going to love it. And I'm an operations nerd. So if you know anything about operations, it's like where the bolts go, who's doing what, how are we getting things done, right? It's all about efficiency. So I ran, odd fact, I ran 2 of the largest travel centers in North America in my 20s. Yeah, that's like crazy, right? So I love sharing that fact, because I started out pumping gas, worked my way up. Next thing you know, I'm running like multiple truck stops, travel centers. Anyway, so that's super cool. And I've been online since the birth of the internet. So you can trust me that I know what I'm talking about. And my passion is just to help you. My passion is service and education and teaching and giving you just all the tips and tricks to help you save time. All right. So that's just a quick diddly about me. And I'm Jess, and I'm excited to be here. So let's talk number 1. It's 4:05. We are on schedule. Catching the clues. This is the number one. I feel like if I could hand out like tickets, like a speeding ticket, it's because we're not catching clues. We are given so many clues when we're scrolling social media, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, give you some examples and how to use these clues, that truly is like where the magic can happen. It's because you learn to actively, you become like a detective, right? And you find the clues, listen for the clues. So we're going to actively listen and watch. Not all clues are verbal or written. And you're going to have clues that are in the background of something or whatever. So, and I'll show you some examples. And not all clues will directly relate to your product. And that's a good thing. So if you have a clue, you're like, okay, they like purple, but that has nothing to do with my business. That's okay. Just keep the clue, because you never know. What if you have some merch someday that comes out and it's purple? You can give it to them. Like, just don't underestimate clues, okay? And then last, catch the clue. Like, actually receive it, store it, and put it in something. And this is why Post-it notes and Google Keep or whatever isn't really going to work for great follow-up. So if you have been there, you might know, like, oh, I can see why, I'm not catching my clues. Okay, so I have a fun example here. I'm gonna get rid of, okay. Can you catch the clue? This is so much fun because this one, and I hid the names, but it's a real post from like just someone in my network. And she posted this quote, right? Like, water is healing energy for sensitive people. Submerge yourself in oceans, lakes, fast, relieve stress, heavy energy. There's like 700 clues there about who this person is, what they believe, and also a pain point. They are sharing this because they feel something in the pain point here, okay? So write in the comments, please. Do you find the clue? Write some clues. As you write, you're getting a chance to enter to win, and also joining live, you have a chance to enter to win a free for life Geniechat account. So we have a prize, and I would love to see what clues you catch from this one, okay? Now we have one more example, and it's this one. You might need to like zoom into your screen a little, but can you catch the clue in this post? And I think what I'll do is I'll put these in the comments like after the training is done maybe, and then you can really like zoom in and figure it out. This one's a pretty easy one. It's pretty obvious. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do about movies. So there's some good clues here. Now, the clues I'm looking for are, what do you like? What are you interested in? Like, what pain points, what interests you? Because every time someone posts on the internet, they're telling us something about themselves. We need to listen actively and catch it, and then we can do something with that, right? And I'm going to show you how. That's next. So you're like, okay, I have a clue, now what? But just remember, there's an opportunity cost when you're ignoring a clue, like a huge cost. And opportunity cost is like you're neglecting to understand and respond to your customers and what they're saying. And you're going to risk losing out on valuable business and a valuable relationship at the end of the day. Like, a relationship is you caring and knowing about somebody, right? So, and it's not some false pretense. Like, we're all in this because we actually really do care. We're not pretending to care. We go out and build our network marketing businesses with an intent to serve, right? So when you're doing that, it's easier to catch the clues and then think of, how can I help this person? What do they need? What do they love? What do they want? And that's your job. You are the chief solution provider, okay? So I am excited to look in the comments after this to see what clues you guys found, because it's like really fun. All right, so let's turn that clue into cash, right? So you have clues. Okay, so if you're spending, I don't know, most people spend hours on social media a day collectively, right? Like, what's your total amount of time you're spending on social media? I want you to put that in the comments. I want you to say, oh, I'm set, like, if you have time blocks, you're like, I spend an hour in the morning every morning because you have it all organized. Cool. But you might be here because you don't have a time block or you don't have an organizational system, which is fine. But this is the part where we get to like come to Jesus moment. Like, how much time am I spending on social media and getting something out of it, or doing something that's actually an income producing activity? Okay. It can be so easy to think that going through social media and liking and commenting is building a relationship, right? Kind of is, but that's not all of it. You have to act, you have to do something to then build that relationship and show that person you're listening and you care and you have something for them, or you don't. Okay. So we're going to turn those clues into cash, and it might not take, like, you have to think longer term. You can't be thinking like, if you're just met this person, you're not turning that into cash in a week. Okay. You're just most likely not. So this is definitely like your nurture sequence. When people are in the middle of your buckets, right? You're in the middle, you know them, you have a relationship, but you're still working on it. You're still trying to understand them, or helping them know you, right? Or exposing your business and opportunity to them. So to turn that into cash, we need to follow up. This is where your foolproof follow-up framework comes in. So you have two options with that clue. So in Geniechat, you can sort by a tag. And when you sort by a tag, you get a group of contacts. You can either reach out to them instantly with something like a solution or an idea, or I thought of you, or whatever, or a catch up, or you can create a reminder so you don't forget to catch up with those people in the future. All right. So I'm going to show you real quick what I mean in Geniechat to do this. In Geniechat, this is a super simple yet powerful CRM. You're going to be like, this doesn't look like a CRM. Exactly. That's the point. Most CRMs they're heavily built. And a lot of businesses, especially B2B, you need all of the things, right? But we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to say, who do I need to know? What do I need to say? And when do I need to talk to them? That's it. That's CRM. A CRM is a relationship management system. And this is going to help you keep your relationships on track so you don't forget. All right. And this is how we're going to do it. So in here, you have a contacts. It's very simple. It's just your contact folder. And you can search. Now you can search by name. You can search by tags. Let's say my tag is a warm market person. I just brought up my warm market people. So now you know who you need to talk to or follow up. Now here's the coolest part. If you're like, okay, I'm not talking to them today, I want to create a reminder so I can follow up with all those warm people next week. All you have to do is you go to your reminders, you're going to create a reminder. And when you search for the warm people and you select all, click done, you're just going to do a catch up, just a catch up follow up. Just engage in their social, just show interest in their life and show them some love. It's called the show love prospect. And then you can choose how you're going to do it. If you really schedule yourself to, I'm going to do Facebook in the morning and Instagram at night, or whatever that might be, this is very helpful to you because now I'm going to click save. And now those people will show up on the 12th. So this is really your follow-up calendar. All right. This is how you can follow up and not forget. And also, you're going to be able to keep notes. You're going to be able to track things. You're going to know, when did I talk to them last? Okay. And if you did the follow up, you just click that little archive button and it's gone. And then it goes into your history. It's so easy. And here's the coolest part. You can quickly go talk to Lori by clicking her Facebook because you have it linked. And it's going to open up her Facebook. And you're not going to see it because it's in a different screen. But it's going to open up her Facebook, and then you'll be right back here. What's that doing for you? That is saving time. That is eliminating distraction. So if you're in social media and you're like, I got to follow up with all these people, and you follow up with one or two people, and then you see another person just in the feed or a group, and it triggers you to do something else. Hello, we all are there. Squirrel, you see a content squirrel, then you know the struggle. Next thing you know, the end of the day comes and you've done all the things and you're like, wait, did I do all 10, 20, 30, whatever it is, all my follow-ups? Like, I don't know. Well, you'll know now because you'll be tracking in Geniechat, but this will help you because you're going to do the follow-up, stay in Geniechat, go follow up. come back to Geniechat, check. Go to your next person, go to follow up, come back, check, done. You are going to knock out so much follow up in 15 minutes a day. And it's going to be so easy. You're going to be like, where has this been my whole life? I promise. This is scatterbrain friendly. Okay. So I'm just going to put it out there. And I am a victim. No, I'm not a victim. I chose to do the bad behavior. What's that make me? But this is not an effective follow-up strategy. Raise your hand if you are the person that is doing so much that your follow-up strategy is to see who replied back and reply back to them. I want the truth. I can handle the truth. I am that person. I have done that. And it's just because you put like 100 things out there, and it's actually spray and pray. I mean, that's really what we're doing. We like talk to 100 people, and whoever writes back, we're going to engage with. That is not an effective follow-up strategy, because there are people falling through the cracks that are just busy and forgot about you that could be the next win for your business and for you and for them. They probably really need you because they're so busy. Think about that. Like if they're not replying back, maybe they need you the most. Okay. So I want to know, I'm curious to see after who uses their thing. Like, oh, I have 5 follow-ups to do today. No, you have to do your regular follow-ups plus the 5. All right. So here's a quick poll. And again, your engagement, you're entering to win yourself to a free for life Geniechat account. I'm just saying it's worth it to engage. How organized is your relationship management? This is like Now I know you're putting it out there. Maybe you don't want your mentor or your sponsor to be like to see what you have to say, but guess what? We are all a hot mess. The Hot Mess Express is just life. And that's why like there was just nothing simple out in the world to just organize in one spot with all the things I needed. I needed more than just contact tracking. I also needed some AI technology. I also needed content storage and streamlining that content. So when I'm on the go and someone has a question about a product or the opportunity, I want to be able to quickly send them the blurb in the video or whatever it is, or schedule a call. If you don't have that at your fingertips, you're wasting time and money. And you do 2 things. Either one, you waste a bunch of time trying to find what you said to the last person you talked to so you can copy and paste it. Where are my people? Or you don't follow up and you wait because you're going to wait to get to your computer, and then you're wasting time. Because what if you wait to the end of the day, what if that someone else gets to them or whatever? Like, you're wasting time. It's so precious. So I want to know how many organized queens we got and kings. Or are you trying, but you need a little help? That melting guy is like my favorite emoji. Or you're like, oh my Lord, I can't find a thing. Like, I want to know. Okay, so why do I ask this? This is the second kind of step to follow up is organization. So you have all these contacts and you have all these clues and you have tags and notes, right? You're like keeping track of things, which is great. But you also then need to look at your contacts and organize them into buckets of focus. That's super important. I know so many companies trained in different, they'll use different letters or names or whatever. But in general, they kind of have the same principle. You can have your hot market or your warm or cold market. So if you come from B2B, you know what that means. Or it's your A, B, and C list. And I think a lot of people love the ABC because it's nice and simple, which is cool. Or green, yellow, red. But you know what? If you're like, segmenting buckets, if that stresses you out and you're like, oh gosh, no, please no, then guess what? I want you to make it fun. Make it fun. Why? Because it's just for you. No one else is going to see this. So make it fun. My husband, he's into race cars, and we were actually in the pool brainstorming like fun buckets. He's like, yeah, it could be like a quarter midget and a stock car and an F1. Like that was his things, right? Because the goal is to say, okay, here are the people I'm trying to build a relationship who do not really know who I am. The ones who know I am, but they're not moving on the opportunity or my, buying my product, whatever. And then you have the ones that are like hot. That's where hot comes in, which is like the number ones, the ones that are like, you got to move on them, right? So I came up with egg, chicken, chicken. So you have a little egg. And I think that's appropriate. Or a seed. If you can start thinking about your connections as things that need to be nurtured, and they have to be watered, right? Like it has to need sun and water. So if you had, these are seeds. These are people that like, they're not harvesting anytime soon, but we're building relationships. Or you have a sapling. It's doing great. It might produce a little tiny fruit, but then you have a strong tree. I know these are probably horrible examples, but you get the point, right? You need to segment your contacts into buckets so you can focus. All right. So in the comments for a chance to win, tell me what you would call your 3 buckets. I want to know. Maybe it's just 1, 2, 3, whatever that might be. Oh, look at me rhyming. Because once you do that, you're going to create reminders. Yeah. So you can create reminders for your entire month. So instead of stressing out and thinking about like all the things you have to do, you're going to go, okay, this is what I need to do today, this week, this month. Okay. You're going to break it up. And you're going to have recurring reminders, which you can do in Geniechat. And then you're going to have one-off reminders, right? So sit down and think about your recurring reminders, maybe your birthdays, maybe anniversaries, like a team anniversary or whatever it might be, right? Not write them down, type those into Geniechat, and then you have them so you cannot forget anything. If you are the person that's putting this in Google, like your Google Calendar, the reason this is not good plan for you, and I've been that person, I've done it, because I was desperate. I needed to figure it out before I made Geniechat. The problem with that is that you're not going to have a history, like a record of when did I talk to them? What did I say? Like, you're not going to have history unless you search, your calendar, and it's like, come on, that is not efficient. And we are here to help you be efficient. Okay. So I am curious what kind of recurring reminders that you would have in your business, because those are actually some of the most often overlooked kind, because to remind yourself like, oh yeah, this is so-and-so's birthday. And it's funny how fast things come up. Next thing you know, it's like, how is it already someone's birthday? What? All right. Last thing, we have 7 minutes left, is time blocking. You might have heard about time blocking. What this means and what it is about and why you want to do it is you're going to get productive. You're going to be prioritized and focused. You're going to have work-life balance. And then most of all, you're going to have consistency. So in order to do this, though, you need your tasks to be prioritized, which is why we talked about the one we just talked about, segmenting your contacts, your relationships, right? Like all these relationships you have out there in the universe, you need a spot to have a record of that relationship, because you wouldn't believe how many times something turns into something years down the road or whatever it might be. So no matter what, you need that data. You need the database, the history. All right. Do not forget to add a buffer time in between your tasks. So no matter how hard you try, you are never going to be like, exactly like, I'm done with this and I'm going to go downstairs and do this and do that. And like, no, you need buffer time. You have to run to the restroom, or like someone phone calls you or whatever, something might happen. So add your buffer time. And then lastly, do not fill up your calendar with your to-do list. It's the other way around, okay? You want to make sure you block out time for your non-negotiables, like the things you know you need to do. And then whatever time you have left, then you can have a realistic, which is good. It realistically pressures you to go, okay, what's most important? What actually will move my needle more? What do I really need to get done first? And I bet you eventually you'll find out you don't have a lot of time left maybe to just randomly scroll social, unless they make it like truly powerful for you. So this is what we're going to do. I am challenging you. I'm hoping you will. I will be in the comments. If you have questions, I'm going to be in the comments. I want you to plan, then do. Whatever it is, come up with a plan. Even if it's 15 minutes a day or 4 hours a day, but it's, bucketed up, whatever it might be, come up with the plan. Because if you don't, you see that this month, you see all those squares, you're staring in your head. Your head is trying to manage and remember a month worth of activity and things to do because you haven't organized yourself. Once you put that down and file it and deal with it, then you can just focus on today because you have peace of mind knowing that tomorrow you have thing and and you're headed to your goals and you're going to get done. Okay. So you must organize and create your buckets, even if it's super simple. It's just like this hour, I'm going to follow up. You're going to just do your darndest. That's okay. All right. Don't go for perfection. Just go for actually getting it done. So I would love to know, how much time do you want to set aside? Like 5 days a week. Obviously, we need family time and faith time and all the other time, right? So those are your non-negotiables, but how much time is left, do you think, in your calendar to then do your follow-ups and tackle your to-dos? Put that in the comments, because I'm curious, once you start really thinking through it, you're like, wow, I think I spend more time than that. And maybe that's why I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So, all right. So your goals are on the other side of those daily habits, okay? On the other side. So you just do this. I promise you, your goals are on the other side. The less chaos, less overwhelm, less frustration, and more focus. So here's your recap. You're going to catch and track the clues. And how are we going to do it? With Geniechat tags, right? You're going to prioritize your contacts into buckets. You're really going to understand, like, who are my people? Who's most important, right? Set reminders to follow up. Really be intentional. So this forces you to be intentional with follow up and not just like randomly follow up. And next thing you know, you followed up like 3 times in 4 days, and then you went like 2 weeks and forgot, right? Of course, we all would do that. We all do that because if you're trying to rely on this to remember, it's not going to work. Lastly, time block to ensure your daily habit is set. Get that time block going. So I would love to know. I cannot wait to get in the comments. I can't wait to see how much time you think you have, and then follow up and say, okay, how much time did you really have? Or how much time did you really need? Okay. So I know you're going to rock your business and have less overwhelm and be more efficient. And you're going to be #efficient queen. Okay. So I want to know, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know, what was your favorite thing you learned from this training? Like, what's the thing? What's the one thing you can take? I know it can be easy to be overwhelmed when a bunch of information comes at you, but what's the thing you're like, okay, I'm going to commit to this. What is that thing? Because even if you commit to the one thing and eventually it takes you months to get all the things, that's good. That's progress. That is okay. All right. So I would love to know what you're going to commit to. And if you are interested in using Geniechat, you can get your free trial. There's a link in the info box. You don't have to have Geniechat for this framework, okay? You really don't. If you want to use your Google Sheets or a written pad or whatever it is, these tricks and tips you can absolutely use without my app. I don't ever want to give you information that requires you to use my app. I just want you to know that my app also is created to help you do these things much faster and much more efficiently, okay? So everything you saw, it's $9.99 a month for the app. It's super, super affordable. You get 3 apps in one, and I urge you to check it out if you're interested. And I will be in the comments answering questions, and I can't wait to hear what's the thing you're going to take away. And then I get to go through and get us a random winner, because you engaged during this training, for a free for life Geniechat account. So that's it. Hey, I finished up a minute early. This is good. So I can't wait. I'm going to look in the comments and I'll see you there. And thank you so much for coming tonight.